All right.
Hello, welcome in everybody. We are coming to you live from the middle of Middle Earth. We are here today to find out who is the cream of the crop for the Lord of the Rings lore heads. I'm pretty excited. These questions are definitely got some difficult ones in here, and it's going to separate the wheat from the chaff. I am, of course, joined by my co-host here, Celtic Owl. We hope you guys are gonna have fun. We're gonna let it sit for a little bit. Oh, there it is. I have to demod stream elements so he doesn't snipe anybody. Welcome in, Celtic. You want to say a few words?
Yeah, hi. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Celtic Owl. I hang around in Swag's Discord. In my spare time, I am also the guild leader for the Dirty Casuals, Dirty Chickens. So, yeah. Outside of that, I'm just been a huge fan of Lord of the Rings for a long time. Started with the movies, moved on to the books, and then, yeah. Read them every year, listen to them, watch the movies when I get a chance. And, I mean, I run a little LoTR D&D as well. So, lots to do, and I'll back Swag up on this, that the questions were written with stumping a few of you in mind, but keeping it fair for everyone, I think.
Great. We got Torm coming in with his 4 months. Thank you, Torm. Been a member for 4 months now. I've taken 4 months of your life from you, Torm. Yeah, we got a number of people in the chat here. Chris S. showing up. Mayanus. Yeah. Teacher, fellow content creator for Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle Earth. Welcome in. Spiral Turtle. Al, good to see you, Al. Justin. J Murph, good to see you, J Murph. How you doing? And BC, the second moderator for the Discord. Of course, we got Jam, the actual moderator for the live stream. And Keith, welcome in. So I'm going to start playing some music, background music here. You tell me if that's too loud, Jam. How do the answer submissions work? That's a great question. Bit loud. Better? Yep, it's in chat. So, well, I'll go over it all when we're about to start. We're just going to give people a few minutes. Nope, no different.
And the benefit with the answers being in chat is we don't have to worry about pronunciating the answers, which thankfully they're all written out.
That should be much better. That should be much better. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so you don't have to spell them out either, because there will be basically numbers that show up for each answer on screen. So one will be one answer, two will be, another answer, whatnot. So you just have to put in the number of the correct answer that you see. We're going to go over the specifics of it when we get started. Again, I just want to make sure that we give people enough time to sort of get in here. I got a few more people coming in, though. I see Angry Armor. How you doing, Angry Armor? J Murph says, off for the weekend, so doing good. Good to hear it, J Murph.
Yeah, I made sure to include a lot of dwarf questions just for swag and angry there.
Good.
So
Keith, Roman, welcome in. How's it going, Peter? Good to see you. Miss White Rabbit, Tawny from DC H4H. Thank you both for doing this event. Is that somebody you know?
yeah, that's the Hobbits for Hire, part of the our Dirty Casuals
The Dirty
cluster
Casuals.
there. Yeah. So we do have our own Discord. There are a few openings, at least with us. We have one. But we're a fun group of people.
You guys excited to see people Googling answers? That's a great question, Peter, or a great comment. Speed is taken into account. So basically there will be tiebreakers based on speed, but I think more importantly, Celtic has written and worded the questions such that they are, if you Google them, you may run out of time. I think it's going to be fine. I will be surprised if you can win this with Google.
I mean, I would love to see if you can, because again, like Swag said, I tried to do my best to make sure that these weren't directly accessible. Knowledge will be your friend here, but that being said, we've also balanced it between books, game. So if you don't know outright, you might be able to guess, but Googling, I'm not sure how that much that's going to help.
Right. Why don't we wait maybe 3 more minutes till 10:45, and then we'll start the. Sounds good. And I caught Pipcow here, who's, I'm not sure if he's founding for the Dirty Casuals, but he's definitely above my pay grade there. Pipcow's great. Helps me find a bunch of people in my our guild, Jamini's guild. Jam's guild,
right
really.
on.
Yeah. While Lore's lore, are we skewing towards books or films? Asks BC. I'll kick that one to you.
It's a bit of both. I'm skewing more towards books and true lore, as Jackson did change a number of things. That being said, there are some questions that lend themselves to the films, obviously. But yeah, if it happened in the film, chances are that's probably not going to be the direct answer I'm looking for. Wow. We're
Lots of DC folks. Good to see it. Glad to see it. Good number of people here on a Saturday, a traditionally not viewed time period for this game. People are just chilling, hanging out. Okay, let's start this because it's another 5-minute countdown here.
Yeah, and I see teacher here asking, will we go through all the ages and also before the first age? And the answer to that is no. I've kept it close to third and second age at most. We do dip back to a few events from the past, but mostly focused on the third age because, I mean, that's what I think most people are familiar with.
All right. So the way that this game is going to work is that there are 3 categories of places, people, and misc. Each category has 10 questions, and a winner will be decided for each category, right? The winner of each category will get a free piece of merch. You can only win 1 piece of merch, but we encourage you to participate in all rounds of the quiz, even if you win 1. So what that means is if you won the first round, you can still participate in the remaining rounds, but if you win first again, the person who's going to get the piece of free merch will be the person in second place. Does that make sense? The way you win, pretty simple. It's trivia. You answer the questions correctly. You type into YouTube chat what you think the answer is, and the magical trivia software is going to, hopefully, it's a little bit of a black box and a little finicky sometimes, will take care of the rest. We will do that after the second round, Jam. So you just type in the number Speed is taken into account, but there are a few questions to separate the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. We mentioned that a little bit earlier on.
Yep. And yeah, so again, the questions range in the 3 categories: places, people, and misc. And yeah, I mean, we've gone over it. There'll be some hard, some easy, and we'll definitely have some fun. If you haven't been studying, good luck.
Yeah.
But
Keith says, watch the OG cartoon films from the 70s, 80s in prep. We'll see how well that serves you. I do want to say that, yes, I think the questions are more geared towards what Celtic said's called true lore. And so basically, you know, really more based on what Tolkien himself has written.
Yeah.
Cartoons are more accurate, though, than the Jackson films. Yes, right? But not as accurate as the books, obviously.
The Jackson films are more accurate than the cartoons. I will say that at most.
Oh, okay.
When I watched, because if you watch this 1977 cartoon, it ends with the Battle of Helm's Deep, which is where we know that things don't end there.
Right.
So they've restructured things in that regard. But thankfully, that category of questions was struck as being way too obscure.
That works. I was told there would be no math. There might be a little bit of math, BC. Teacher says, only in Jackson movie does 9 people walking past a rock truly become epic. He's a great director.
Yeah.
No prep here for fun. It would be cool to see if I truly knew anything about anything. That's how I approach trivia, Angry Armor. And I go in knowing that nobody in the world can possibly have the weird, strange collection of dumb facts I know. And so I just kind of want to see what the overlap is with everybody else, right? Welcome in, Mighty Zombie. Also, I was encouraged by Jam and Celtic to purchase this 13-inch church warden pipe so I can, you know, smoke the long bottom leaf like the hobbits, but I don't have any long bottom leaf, so Celtic, I gotta say, you know what I'm thinking about doing?
What are you thinking of?
I think I might put some Diet Coke in the end and see if I can use the pipe as a straw. Do you think it would work?
That's not where I was going. That's not where I was going with it. I thought you were gonna a little bit of soap, blow some bubbles. You know, maybe not smoke rings, but bubbles at least.
This is straight for drinking the DC. Diet Coke straight to the brain. We got 20 seconds left on the clock, folks. 13 inches. Wait a minute, Peter. I don't have the horny of Gondor yet. You gotta wait to make those jokes.
Yeah.
So many DC folks. Wow, you really spread the word.
Yeah.
Got the word out, man. Nice.
Well, we're a very active community, and we're very excited to have us out here.
We're starting.
All right. So, which of the following structures was not built by the men of Numenor? Orthanc, Minas Morgul, Helm's Deep, or Barad-dûr?
Put your number in the chat. You just got to put the number in. You don't have to spell it out. Look at that. What's that green stuff on the shelf behind you? Stuff that in there. That is a fake target plant, J-Murph. I think I'd be better off slurping some DC.
Oh, this is interesting. I like watching the answers come in here.
First question done. You just got to type the number in, pleasing pleb.
All right.
We're computing.
So,
why don't you tell us what the correct answer was?
Yeah. All right. And those that know, Barad-dûr was not built by the Numenorians. Barad-dûr was built by Sauron and had nothing to do with them. Helm's Deep and Orthanc were both built by the Numenorians early to guard that gap of Rohan. And Minas Morgul obviously was one of the founding cities of Gondor, formerly known as Minas Ithil. So.
Look at that. I see Teacher. Teacher got that answer correct right out of the gate. Dude's been in the books. Second question. On the road to Rivendell, Frodo was stabbed at Weathertop. What was the old name of Weathertop? Amon Sol, Amon La, Amon Lonk, or Amon Hen? Again, I apologize for the pronunciations. I'm doing my best. Was it good?
That was perfect. Yeah, that was spot on. Exactly the way I would have done it.
It's because I'm in costume, and it helps.
Channeling that inner Frodo.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it. Oh, it fits in there so perfectly, Celtic. You can.
Are you okay?
You can't do it. Okay.
No.
No, it worked. Is there a weather bottom? That's a great question, Peter.
There is not a weather bottom, but the former name of Weathertop was Amon Sur.
Amon Sur. Wow, that most people got it right. Torm, Torm coming in with a the only person voting Amon Lock.
So I threw an Amon Lonk here because that is the location of Dol Guldur. That was the original name of that location, and that's recently come up in the game. So
it was a little trick.
That was a little bit of a trick. Yeah. Amon Hen and Amon La are both at the Falls of Rauros.
Third question.
From its founding, near 3429 of the Second Age to 1640 of the Third Age, what city was designated Gondor's first capital? Pelagir, Osgiliath, Minas Morgul, or Minas Arnor?
I do want to say there is a special prize. It's called the Torm DK prize. And if you win the Torm DK prize, we're giving away a free bucket, the same bucket that Pippin threw down the well in the Mines of Moria. Comes with the chain and everything.
Yeah, we really had to wrestle that one away from the goblin. Messy business.
Or computing. This is actually not having to click through is actually really nice. It just kind of does it all automatically.
Yeah, and so for those that know, Osgiliath was the first capital of Gondor. It was a seat of the two kings. Each of the brothers, Isildur and Anarion, built two cities, Minas Arnor and Minas Ithil. But Pelagir is actually one of the earliest cities in the region that became Gondor, as it was one of the havens for the faithful when they fled Numenor.
Look at that. We actually, most people getting that right. That's crazy. Celtic, do you have a special necklace that you want to put on? Next question.
I do.
The lands of Rohan did not always belong to the Rohirrim. What was the name of the land while it was still under the rule of Gondor? Harondor? Colin Nardhorn? Honorian? Unfalis? I gave myself the hard question there. One of my favorite things, though, from the Jackson trilogy, and something, because I rewatched it recently, and something me and my brother would just continuously shout at each other. So, like, my brother would come home from work, and I would just shout from upstairs. I go, "What news from the Riddermark?" And he would just yell back about his day, and then he would do the same for me.
Right on. So the tricky one here is definitely Calinarthon, because it's that DH that in Welsh is pronounced as a TH.
Got it. It's a little cut off on the screen there. Apologies for that.
A little bit. But the answer is, of course, Calinarthon. That was one of the northernmost reaches of the old Gondorian kingdom. Arondor, also known as literally translates to South Gondor, was the part of Gondor that was south of the River Anduin, closer to like Nir Harad and Umbar. Anfalas was the north shore, and then Anarion is the region of Gondor closest to Rohan that has Minas Tirith in it.
Next question.
During the Battle of the Pelennor Fields, Theoden leads a second charge against forces carrying the Black Serpent banner. From which nation are they from? Umbar, Run, Mordor, or Harad?
Teacher, we did not give away the last question. I legitimately had no idea that that was the answer, and I just struggle with pronouncing that word. And it often comes up in the news articles. It's come up a number of times, and I just can't pronounce it correctly anytime.
Yeah, and Kelle Narthon did come up with the Black Beast and the Belkoth. That's their big claim to fame, because it was Rohan's actions, Rohan's actions against them that got them.
Well, if you got the answer right, you're not going to be on the screen. I guess the questions are a little bit long. Apologies for that, folks. So wait. We have one person on track to win the Torm DK prize.
Yeah. So, of course, the Black Serpent banner, very much tied to the Black Serpent poison in game. That would be the people of Harad that Theoden led his second charge into them.
A pretty great scene in the Jackson trilogy, though, is that particular scene. And, I mean, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Although not officially integrated into the Shire until after the War of the Ring, which region is inhabited solely by Shire hobbits and borders the Old Forest? South Farthing, Buckland, Bree, Arthedain. So what only becomes part of the Shire after the War of the Ring? Folks, do not worry. There will be some small breaks between the sections. The feeling we wanted you to have, though, going into this was that nervous anxiety either before a race or a test. We wanted you to get that, caffeine sweat going. Wow. Okay. It really does not like the long questions. Apologies again for that. The software does not let you do that.
Yeah, and that was all on me. I wrote some of these out. But the answer is Buckland.
There you go.
It's technically outside the Shire, and it gets incorporated after, along with the West March.
No, you got it right, teacher.
But yeah,
so did Torm.
Teacher's on fire. Bree is obviously part of the small series of towns near the Shire. The South Farthing is in the Shire and known for its Longbottom Leaf. Arthedain is one of the 3 successor kingdoms of Arnor, where the Shire is located, actually. Once an outpost of Númenóreans in Middle-earth, by the time of the War of the Ring, this location is most known for its corsairs. Umbar, Run, Nern, or Kond.
You can roll your R's pretty well.
Yeah, that comes with speaking French.
Oh, it's from French. Do they really roll their R's in French? I guess it's a romantic language.
Yeah.
My family is Spanish, and I can't roll my R's to save my life. It brings my mom great shame. It's not great.
Yeah. Well, once upon a time, I sounded a little bit more like Night Hunter than I do now. So I grew up speaking both French and English, and but our outpost is, of course, Umbar.
Corsairs of Umbar.
Corsairs of Umbar. Kond is the furthest southern and easternmost region in Middle-earth that we kind of know of. If you go that far south, Aragorn said he traveled there, and the stars are different. Then Rhûn is the land to the east, and Nirn is actually one of the regions inside Mordor. It's not just all called Mordor.
Torm really wants the bucket. He does. It's interesting because we said it, and it's turning out to be the case. I'll finish my thought after this question. These mountains once housed 2 of the 7 holds of dwarves in the First Age. It also served as an outpost colony after the desolation of Smaug. What are they called? Ered Nimrais, the White Mountains. Ered Mithrim, Grey Mountains. Ered Lunan, Lewin, Blue Mountains, or Emin Engren, the Iron Hills? There are a number of questions that it seems like every single person is getting correct, Celtic. Pretty much every single person. And then there are, yeah, just one or two questions where there's a decent spread of who's correct, who's not. But I think teacher's still at 100%.
Teacher's doing very well, and yeah, that was kind of our intent. Like, there's no fun in doing trivia that's only gonna get like one or two people right per question.
Right.
It's finding that balance.
Yes. Cesar, you got to press the live button to make sure that you're up to date. Otherwise, yes, the trivia is not going to go well for you, unfortunately. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but the mountains that served as the outpost were the arid Lewin, Blue Mountains. They also held the ancient cities of Nogrond and Belegost, who had their dwarves saw more action in the first age. And then, yeah, the Gray Mountains and White Mountains, sparsely inhabited by dwarves. They did go there at times, but not in numbers. And then, of course, the Iron Hills was founded well after the First Age. But history may not repeat, but it does rhyme. What was the name of the city that Sauron conquered in the First Age and then fought against again in the Third Age? Minas Tirith, Minas Ithil, Edoras, or Car Andros? And this is where we do dip back into that First Age, but sticking with the Third Age theme. So if you know your First Age history, this one will be easy.
Peter says it would be amazing if chat had a whisper mode on where only you guys could see the votes. Yes, that is maybe true. It would be pretty silent in here, as Jam pointed out. But also, if you're just copying teacher's still going to beat you because speed is taken into account, unfortunately. Or, crap, he got that one wrong. And
yeah.
Teacher's now playing the psychological game where he gets one wrong because people were following him. And now he's going to get every other one right after he sowed that little seed of...
Yeah. So, originally built by Finrod, Minas Tirith, in the First Age, fell to Sauron and then became Tol in Gaurhoth, the Isle of Werewolves, where Sauron got his name, like Father of Werewolves, which is pretty awesome.
I hope we do end up seeing a version of that, or just werewolves in general, or Bjorn, that kind of stuff in the game, actually. I think that would be a really cool place for them to dip into. Final question for this round. Durin, father of the Longbeards, awoke near which place that would later become an important location for dwarves, despite it not being settled by dwarves? Mount Gundabad, Khazad-dûm, Erebor, or Dimril Dale? Dimril Dale's Dipadaga Dome. God, what is the Fairly Odd Parents quote? You might be a little too old and Canadian to know what I'm talking about here. Doug's Dippadome.
Yeah, I have a vague idea, but it's been ages since I've seen anything Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, same. Dimril Dale's big old Dippadome. 4, because it sounds like a tongue twister.
That's it.
Well, as you all know, it is
Mount Gundabad.
Yeah, that was my guess, but I didn't want to say.
Yeah, so Mount Gundabad is where Durin the Deathless woke up, but it was never settled by dwarves, which is kind of funny, in that it's like, yeah, this is a holy place for us, but we're not going to live here. Later
became, well, I guess dwarves had a problem with a lot of their homes being invaded by orcs.
Overrun with orcs.
Yeah,
but Khazad-dûm was the great city that Durin founded. Erebor is the lonely mountain. Smaug came to live there after they got kicked out.
I'm gonna pause the game there so that we can sit on the screen for a little bit. So in first place, we have Teacher, fellow content creator, apparent lorehead. Second place, Vilnay. And third place, Justin Swift. So the first round goes to Teacher. Teacher, I need you to DM me what you want from the store, the size, the color, and of course where I can send it. And why don't we actually do that right now? Why don't you tell them what they can win?
Say, we've told you can win merch, but we've not really shown off anything. So I'm not sure what Swag's gonna pull out first, but he's got some shirts. I do have my lovely mug. That has the Cappy crew on it.
The mug is great. Got some Boons
but we
and
do
Banes.
have some Boons and Banes hoodies.
And a shirt?
And the shirt is fire, by the way. I do have my own. Love the work that you guys are doing there. And then what else do we got here? We got the other shirt with the cappies.
So this is a crew neck, and this is just a t-shirt. And by the way, every time I've worn that crew neck, forest green with the Fellowship capybaras, I have gotten compliments, mostly from very attractive people. It's been really, really doing my confidence a solid. The last thing I want to show you here, though, is let me explain really quick so we have stickers, and on the website there are large and small stickers, and none of them are this big. This is the absolute biggest, and now they're about 3 inches for the large and 1.5 inches for the small, so they're much more reasonable. And of course, yes, the same thing that Celtic should. We've got mugs and pint glasses. So choose one piece of clothing. Jam has posted the link to the store. Choose one piece of clothing, teacher, or you can... I'm probably going to go with the same mug as Celtic. Yes, so if you're going to do a mug, you can also... We'll DM. You can choose some other things as well, but you should DM me because I have to get your address, basically.
Yeah.
Do you fellowship to other countries? Yes. So Jam's in the UK. She's got some stuff as well. We do some stuff to Europe. There are some places that they don't ship, but I'm not sure. Just DM me after period and we can talk about it. Does being a member for 4 months give me 4 extra points? Pleb coming in with the resub for 4 months, Pleb. Look at you. You've got that dwarven ring going. All right. Let's give people maybe another 2 minutes and then we can start the countdown for the next section. The next section is going to be people. That's what the focus was.
Yeah, so all the answers in this question revolve around people in some way. Knowledge of other ages will help, but not necessarily required. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see if teacher can get a go for a 10 out of 10. So
let's see if we can just get let's just go to the next one here. Switch to this because it's got a countdown as well. Excellent. So you got 3 minutes, folks, before the next section starts. We've showed you what you can win now. Maybe that will help fire you up a little bit. Also, merch stuff is something this is kind of like a big event to sort of, have fun, but also to advertise it. I don't want to spend all my time advertising it. However, I do want to eventually keep working on some cool designs and stuff, and I've been working with BC on maybe doing some of that sort of stuff. So there'll be more stuff in the future. Yeah, Celtic's got a lot of cool stuff in the background of his camera.
Yeah, so on top of playing this, playing the mobile game, I also do a little bit of like the tabletop wargaming stuff. So I do have a bunch of D&D miniatures behind me that I 3D printed from the good folks over at The Printing Goes Ever On. I'll give them a little advertising plug here too. So, and yes, I do a little 40K, little bit of everything. I am full nerd. Yes, okay. It's not sitting on properly, but I am the proud owner of an Evan Star, and I have a One Ring replica lying around my office as well. So, in case we were worried I wasn't nerd enough for this.
I don't think people were worried.
No.
I think you've given your bona fides.
Yeah, I come with my lore credentials well earned.
Can I win that Evan Star or One Ring replica if I win all 3 categories? No, actually what ends up happening if you win all 3 categories, teacher, is it loops back around and you win the Torm DK prize of the Moria bucket, chain included.
I was gonna say, I'd send it to you if you got 10 out of 10 in all 3, but we're already past that.
Oh! It is on.
Yeah.
With the skeleton attached. True. I'm pretty happy. 49 people.
Yeah.
Nice.
On.
Nobody out-me's me. Out-me's me. I was speaking of going out. We went and celebrated my brother's girlfriend's birthday this past weekend, this last weekend, and we walked to the place we were going to, and my girlfriend, she wore not heels, but kind of like raised shoes. They weren't full-blown heels, but my brother and his girlfriend are taller people, and they walk like taller people. What I mean by that is like they look like a cryptid, like Sasquatch walking across a film, or like the alien from Signs walking across, or like maybe some people when they're going to their fridge late at night just kind of got that walk. And it ended up when we came back, because we were walking so fast, my girlfriend was like, my shins hurt so much. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, they have Ent strides, and this is the first time in her life that she's ever gotten shin splints, and I just had to be like, my love, your shins have been splinted. I don't know how else to tell you this. I don't know how you don't know what shin splints are. She's not tall. She's 5'2".
And you didn't offer to carry her like a hobbit?
She didn't say anything until we got back. And she laid down. She's like, my my shins are they're on fire. And I was like, oh, you've been splinted. Been there. I used to walk myself into shin splints as well, trying to go from one place to the next. I don't know why.
It happens to the best of us. I used to walk up a ridge to school, and it was
The same.
always a nightmare. All right.
First question.
So these are for the home guys. Which 2 members of our Isengard team are named in the 2 towers? Is it Ugluk and Malhur, Ugluk and Dunhar, Morza and Ugluk, or Morza and Azak?
Is it Azak and not? I guess I've been pronouncing it Ajak.
It's one of those things where it could go both ways.
Different dialects.
And I agree, because it's like Black Speech versus Sindarin versus Adunaic. Yeah. We're not native speakers of any of these languages, so there's got to be room for some interpretation.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Quantum. Welcome in, Quantum. Just checking in. I'm here to listen, working on the infographics, so can't participate, loathing the event so far. Quantum, fellow Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth content creator. Welcome in, bud.
Yeah. So, whether they were carrying hobbits or being ambushed on the edge of Fangorn, Ugluk and Malhur are our 2 canon Isengard members.
Torm. Doing Torm things. Good to see it. It's the bit wouldn't work except that everybody else gets it right, except for him.
Yeah.
If he was just doing it and other people were like guessing as well, it would be like, oh, okay. But the fact that everybody else gets it right except him is very funny to me.
Oh.
We all know hobbits are in for a party with their many relations, so who of the following is not related to Frodo Baggins? Samwise Gamgee, Peregrine Took, Merry Brandybuck, or Fredegar Bolger? Bolger is also the name of a type of grain. Spelled differently, but I had it in in Prague, I think.
Right on. Well, a lot of the Hobbit names do come from agriculture. We have Rosie Cotton, the Sandy Miller, like Sandy Ben, the Miller. So there's definitely a strong theme to natural ingredients there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the answer is, of course, Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, he was the gardener. Fredegar, Peregrine, and Brandybuck are all related through the Took clan, as eventually they all marry into each other. But Frodo's mother was Primilla Brandybuck, and while Sam isn't a part of this family, their lines eventually do mix together when Sam's daughter Goldilocks marries Pippin's son Faramir.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
That happens after the events.
On my screen, you listed it third, teacher. Go ahead.
So the Balrog of Moria is named Durin's Bane, after killing which Durin? Durin the Deathless, Durin the Sixth, Durin the Fourth, or Durin the Third?
Oh, yeah, Torm. So I intentionally, when we were choosing question backgrounds here, I was like, I couldn't make it work where you could see both Frodo and Gandalf's face, so I decided to lean into the Hobbit hate and just completely cover Frodo's face because he's actually not important at all. You don't really need to see him. Uh-oh. I think a few people got this wrong.
I think a few did. So the answer the Durin that was killed to make it Durin's Bane was Durin the Sixth. Durin the Deathless was the founder of Moria. Durin the Third was the one that received the Rings of Power. And while little is known of Durin the Fourth, he's thought to be the Durin that led the forces of Khazad-dûm during the War of the Last Alliance.
Look at that. Wheat from the chaff, cream from the crop. 3 people right.
Yeah.
Andrew, Al, teacher. Arendelle, our in-game guide, is central to the events of Middle-earth. Which of the following characters is not a descendant of Arendelle? Strider, Halbarad, Elrond, or Arwen? You should have known, Matt. You should have known. Speaking of the Mines of Moria game, I have actually finally purchased the Mines of Moria game because it's 50% on sale right now, plus some additional like coupon thing. I don't know. It was like $12 on the Epic Game Store, which is crazy. So I'm hoping, I don't know if you have it, Celtic, but I'm hoping when I return from going home for the holidays that maybe we can do a low-key, playing with viewers. Let's get 8 dwarf chads in the chat and do a little Return to Moria run, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good. I might have to check it out while it's on sale.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to game as much, so I've not been doing that. But as in relation to our in-game guide, the only member there that isn't a descendant of him is Halbarad.
Nice. Peter,
So,
what are you doing, Peter? That was the first math question. That is true. That is true, Al. The last question was the first math question. Halbachad, unfortunately, he's his own thing.
yeah, which raises a lot of questions when you consider that Strider and Arwen are distantly related to each other, because technically there's like a few greats. Strider would be like a great, about 12 or 15 times nephew. But we've seen the Black Beast in game. But canonically, who is the only Nazgul we know the name of before their consumption by the darkness? Marak of Angmar, Kamul the Easterling, Haramur of Harad, or Funir of Umbar.
I know you all have to get this one correct. You will lose. I will ask you to uninstall the game. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think this was at length discussed when the Black Beast was announced.
It was.
So I can't imagine that.
So of course, the answer is Kamul the Easterling. So the Witch King of Angmar is technically, he's got like a title, but he's technically not named in that sense, right?
Yeah. So the Witch King of Angmar actually got the name after he was a Nazgul, because he only founded Angmar after the fact.
Right.
So in this case, Hadamor and Funir are both Black Numenorians that were alive later in the Third Age. But our Nazgul appeared around 2251 of the Second Age. So it just can't be them.
Aragorn has gone by many names over the course of his life. Which of the following was not a name for him? Wingfoot, Thorongil, Felagund, or Estel? Fifth answer, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, this will be this is the one I was most anxious to see.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna lie. This is probably my favorite question in this mix.
The last question with the Angmar little bait answer got one person.
Yeah.
5, handsome. So what's the answer here, Celtic?
So the answer here is Felagund, which means cave dweller, and it was given to Finrod in the First Age when he built Nagathrom. But Estel was the name he went by in Rivendell when Aragorn was younger. It translates to hope. Wingfoot is what Eomer calls him after finding out how fast he came from the river into the mark when he was chasing those orcs. And Thorongil is the name he went by when he rode with Thengol to war and then fought for Gondor in Umbar.
Which of course everybody knew because nobody guessed it.
Yeah. So when Theoden and Eomer ride off to battle Isengard, who do those left behind call to lead them with the cry, "We trust in the House of Eorl"? Wilfwyn, Errol's daughter? Morwen Steelsheen, Lady Eowyn, or Lady Arwen?
The actress who played Lady Eowyn is going to voice her in the upcoming animated film.
Yes, I'm very excited to see Miranda Otto reprise her role.
I think she'll be good. She looks so much like my friend. It's crazy. You don't like Rohan, teacher?
Yeah.
The answer, of course, I'm going to take this one because I know the answer because it's easy, is Lady Eowyn. The stew lass herself.
That it is. Morwen Steelsheen is actually Theoden's mother. And then Wilfwyn is just the Rohan attacker from the game. Threw her in there because she looked familiar.
Yeah. So figured it was a trap. No, Torm, it's not a trap. I'm surprised that one splits, that Wilfwyn and the others got so many votes. And here's Middle Earth. We see Elrond and his children, but during the events of the War of the Ring, where is Celebrian, Elrond's wife? Valinor, Lothlorien, killed by orcs, or the Grey Havens? Hard C's, man, at the start of the name. I never know whether to call them celery or Kellery. you know? And
Yeah.
I know it's supposed to be Kellery, but it always throws me off because I want to say celery.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, all the C's are pronounced hard in Sindarin, so this is Calabrian.
Calabrian.
The other thing that Sindarin doesn't have that a lot of modern languages do are the diphthongs. So the I-A together, you pronounce each vowel separately.
Brian. Oh, I see. Interesting. The answer, of course, here, I'm going to steal this one too because I know this one as well, is Valinor.
Yeah, she was ambushed by orcs and poisoned by them, but Elrond was able to heal her, but not deal with some of the other trauma. So she got sent to Valinor afterwards to recuperate, and while her children stayed behind.
Yeah.
She would often travel to Lothlorien because Celebrian is also Galadriel's daughter.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
that's a fun little addition that Rings of Power really screwed up by taking Celeborn out of the question. It's like, so when does Galadriel get her daughter? Because, yeah. So Uruk-hai and Olokai are mentioned in the Lord of the Rings appendices. But what does the Black Speech High roughly translate to? Warrior, servant, peoples, or folk?
Did Elrond heal her with a sweet and tender kiss on the cheek? For that last question.
I am not privy to that answer. That's between Elrond and whatever he had to do, whatever magic sauce he had.
A gentleman elf never tells.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Sage, welcome in. The way you play, Sage, is you just put in the answer for the number for the answer you think is correct.
Yeah. So high in Black Speech roughly translates to folk.
Folks.
So Uruk-hai is orc folk and Olokai is troll folk. Both creations of Sauron to get around the orc weakness to light.
This is a good one. It definitely split people again.
Yeah. This was definitely for the book readers because the high isn't explained anywhere else but there.
Is that how he helped Frodo too? No, Sam. Elrond also famously well, I'll get to that after this question. Imrahil and his Swan Knights hail from a region of Gondor named for a former king of which elven kingdom? The Greenwood, Rivendell, Lothlorien, or Lindon? Sam, as Celtic will attest, it's actually lore canon that Elrond is also the inventor of Mountain Dew in the Lord of the Rings Heroes of in the Middle-earth world, and he just gave Frodo a few sips of some of that sweet, sweet Mountain Dew, and that actually brought him back.
Yeah.
Did it? I could hear the pain in your voice. I want to go along with the bit, but it pains me so much.
It's all good.
It was code red.
It's code red, yeah. So this one will be interesting because I saw that teacher went with Lindon, when in fact it's Lothlorien. So Torm got this one right.
Torm, the first one to get it right.
Yeah. So Amroth. So Imrahil and his Swan Knights come from Dol Amroth, and Amroth was the last king of Lothlorien before Celeborn and Galadriel take over as Lord and Lady of Light.
Yes, top 3 is going to be interesting. So that was the last question.
Yeah.
Who do we got? Oh my god, Teacher still coming out on top. I think Teacher got a few wrong. 2 wrong, yeah. Teacher still coming out up on top. Let's pause the game here. Justin Swift coming in second. You know what that means, Justin? Justin, you get a free piece of merch. I'll have Jam post the link to the merch store again just so you can go take a look at it. Same thing applies. Just DM me on Discord. Let me know what you want, what size, what color, and we'll talk about that. And obviously an address to send it to, and we'll get that sent out right away. Vilnay dropping from second to third or to fifth place this time. I see Burning Kronos up there and Keith. Keith doing work, getting in there. And importantly, I think, Celtic here, is the battle between 15th and 16th here. We've got Torn Decay and Jam.
Yeah, I was impressed. Torm, 50-50 on these. Not bad. I mean, that's what I was shooting for, right? Like, Torm gets half, and then the other half are to decide things.
Exactly. So yeah, teacher, you can keep playing, but yes, you will only get one piece of merch. We did not want a single person winning all 3 pieces of merch. So we were specifically trying to avoid this situation. But yeah, just let me know, Justin. Go ahead.
Oh, and teacher, there is a consolation prize when you do win the category but don't get the prize. Undying respect.
Celtic's love and admiration.
Yeah, a little bit of pride coming out, because I'm like, teacher said he was going to come out and win it, but I'm like, I hope I can stump him at least a couple times, and I think we're doing all right on that in that front.
Yeah, strand of your hair.
Yeah, that won't make it through the EU shipping processes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're already going to talk about that because he just wanted a mug, so he can choose some other things as well anyways. Oh yeah, that was already the case, teacher. You can choose a mug and some stickers, or you can choose a piece of clothing. All right. Let's just start the timer here.
Yeah.
Okay, you got 3 minutes for the next round starts. Justin, teacher. Okay, both going for the mug, totally fine. But you need to DM me on Discord some specifics. So make sure you do that so I can get that sent out to you. This is the final round. It is MISC.
Yeah, so these are going to come from everywhere and anywhere. But this is also where I put a lot of the Jackson comparisons.
So my movie heads, my cinema fans,
yeah.
This is your time to shine. You can show these people who read that being illiterate is okay, and you can still do well. You've never read the books, teacher? I do not believe that. No, congrats to you, Justin. Glad to have you here.
Okay, teacher. You might not have read the books, but have you listened to them? Because Andy Serkis does a wonderful job on the audiobooks. I will just put it that way. There is a loophole around the reading aspect of that.
Countdown on to blast swag off to Tomato Worlds. Tomato Town? You know, I've never actually played Fortnite, Al Huffman. Did you know he broke his toe? Keith, you keep saying it. And I have learned that he's broken his toe, yeah. You've never read a single page. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Quantum agrees the Andy Serkis audiobooks are incredible.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you wait for Gollum to appear, because that's the voice he does the best, and it's very soothing to have Gollum read you that nighttime story.
He's really done some crazy stuff.
He is a phenomenal, and that entire cast is just phenomenal from what they've gone on to do from there.
Yeah. Andy Serkis became like the mocap guy, right? And then now he's dug himself out of the mocap guy typecast. He was terrific in Andor. I don't know if you've seen that. He was so good in Andor.
I have.
Oh my God.
He was really good as Claw in Black Panther as well.
Yep. He's a very solid actor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Quantum
but
says it. Yep.
Caesar and Gollum are definitely his 2 most iconic roles.
All right. 5 seconds till we start. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Roman. Pibcow. First question coming to you live.
In the Jackson trilogy, Arwen is the one who comes from Rivendell to find Strider and the hobbits. Who comes to the aid of the hobbits in the novels? Thranduil, Glorfindel, Elrohir, or Elladan?
This should be an easy one. I see Torm's up to his old tricks. You want the bucket. Pipcow was like,
Yeah.
wait, actually, I have to answer before I go. I can't not just answer. If you know the answer, you just have to say you know the answer.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you guess a different character, you do not get a 7-star version of them.
What about 8 stars?
But we'll talk about the 14th star later. But it's Glorfindel who comes for them in the books.
Somebody I'm hoping they also add in game.
Me too. I would love to see him on a Road to Rivendell team with that Hobbit and Elf synergy.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think it would be really cool.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of potential with the Road to Rivendell to include a lot of crossover characters. So we have a few elves, but definitely Tom Bombadil would be nice to see for them.
Yep. In the Jackson trilogy, the Fellowship paddles past Argonath, Pillar of Kings. The film portrays which 2 kings? Meneldyl and Erenur, Isildur and Anarion, Elros and Elrond, Elendil and Isildur. Isildur. There we go. I don't know why I gave myself the the hard to pronounce questions. I thought I looked at them specifically and chose even or odd based on which one seemed easier to pronounce. I don't think I did a good job. That's okay.
It's all good. You're doing a bang up job. Like I said, no one really speaks Sindarin, so we're all guessing here, slightly. But in the Jackson trilogy, the 2 that are portrayed are Elendil and Isildur. And the other nice touch that they change is that Elendil is actually holding his sword Narsil and not the axe.
This White Rabbit, I think you gotta hit the live button, make sure you're up to date, otherwise you are unfortunately going to miss the trivia question. Teacher, you got it right. What are you complaining about there? You're separating from Keith, who looks like to be another front runner in these sections here. Let's get to the next question.
Yeah. So, follow up to that last question, who canonically are the kings carved at the Argonath, the Pillar of Kings? Isildur and Anarion, Elendil and Isildur, Kemendor and Erendil, or Menendil and Eredor?
I can't believe Teacher won the first 2 rounds. He really didn't come to mess around.
I mean, he said he was going to win the whole thing, so I'm going to hold him to it.
Who is Anarion?
So Anarion is Isildur's brother, who was so cruelly cut out of Rings of Power. But it's Isildur and Anarion that build the cities of Minas Arnor and Minas Ithil. And they're both sons of Elendil. Anarion was unfortunately killed during the siege of Barad-dûr. And it's his line that ends actually with Aenor.
The Battle of 5 Armies, fought in front of the gates of Erebor, was named due to the participation of dwarves, elves, men, goblins, and what 5th army? Wargs, trolls, orcs, or eagles? I think this is a great question.
I think so too, and this will tell me who really watched the 1977 version of the film.
It will indeed. Okay, so the correct answer here is actually wargs. The 1977 film randomly takes the wargs out and puts the eagles in. However, that is not the same as it is in the books. The wargs and their warg sort of alpha chieftain or whatever makes sort of a pact with the goblins, is my understanding, and they are technically the Fifth Army.
Yeah, and that's in chapter 17 of The Hobbit, The Clouds Burst, that it specifically says the battle commenced. That would be called the Battle of Five Armies, with goblins and the wild wolves on one side, with elves, men, and dwarves on the other. In the Jackson film, we see the elves, men, dwarves, and then Gundabad and Dol Guldur orcs. But Legolas, the master archer of the Fellowship, didn't run out of arrows in the Jackson films. But according to the book canon, during their journey, how many times did Legolas mention he was out of arrows? Never magic elf quiver. 4 or more, 2 or 1.
And make sure you put in the number of the answer you want and not the number of times he runs out of arrows.
Yeah, I didn't think this one through.
I'm only just realizing that now, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to get cut off here.
Yeah.
The answer, though, is 2. Where does he run out?
So he runs out at Amon Hen, where he mentions that he's scrounging the dead for arrows. And then he runs out again at Helm's Deep, where there's a little gallows humor where he goes, it's knife work up here, because he's out of arrows. So, unfortunately, he doesn't have the magic elf quiver, and just like the Jackson films, just shoot all the time.
Which would be nice. That one got a few people.
I mean, it would be handy, yeah. Well, again, this one is like, if you haven't read the books, you just don't know.
In Jackson's trilogy, a small change is made to Gandalf's iconic speech to the Balrog from the books. What does Gandalf say in the books? You will not pass. You shall not pass. You could not pass. You cannot pass. It's a Dr. Seuss book up in here.
Yeah.
You shan't not pass.
Yeah, and we include this one at your request, Swag. This was yours, right?
Yeah.
So are you confident you know the answer?
No. I already forgot. But it was specifically when they released the kit for Gandalf, made a big deal about it, at least on the official Discord. And they mentioned it in the news article as well for the kit release of Gandalf, about which is the correct way that it was said in the book as opposed to in the films.
Yeah. So in the films, it's you shall not pass, but in the books, it's you cannot pass.
So a little trickery on that one, I suppose.
Yeah.
He says both on the films. He only delivers the line once, Peter.
Yeah. So.
Next question.
During the Battle of the Pelennor Fields, Jackson has Aragorn arrive with the army of the dead. Who accompanies Aragorn in the books? The Númenórean Navy, Men of Southern Gondor, Lady Arwen, or good Corsairs of Umbar?
Back to the Corsairs of Umbar. Yeah, I guess it was specifically related to, what he shouts on the bridge before, the very iconic scene that everyone knows, Peter.
Yeah. Yes, I'm hoping if I include a lot of Corsairs of Umbar questions, we're going to get the Corsairs coming to the game. I'm trying to manifest, okay? I'm a big pirate guy.
I don't know if... Are they going to do any sort of vehicles? Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
You're manifesting.
I'm trying to manifest, trying real hard. But in the books, he does not arrive with an army of the dead. He arrives with men of southern Gondor. They take the army of the dead and they free up Pelagir, which is a city under siege by the Corsairs, and then they sail up to ships. I will give Jackson that showing up with the army of the dead was really cool, so I'm not going to hold that against him as like a bad call.
I don't know how they would do that. Corsairs of Umbar. I'm not sure. Never mentioned in Jackson's trilogy, but undoubtedly familiar to the Heroes of Middle-earth players, who are Elrond's sons that traveled south to Aragorn's aid with the Grey Company. Legolas and Lomian, Halbarad and Elrohir, Elrohir and Elladan, Elladan and Lomian. All right, now for sure, if you get this one wrong, you gotta uninstall. Oh no.
Yeah.
I saw. Oh no.
Is Torm up to his Torminess?
No.
No.
Pirate themed team would be interesting. There's a lot of things that they can do that are cool.
Yeah. I mean, we have a number of dwarves that we can call up too, right?
Right.
Some different dwarves and stuff. So.
And question's a little bit too long, so the correct answer will be off the screen, but it is, of course, Elladan and Elrohir. Two sons of Elrond, and of course their sister, it being Arwen. You got the family hanging out for the Rivendell elves. Got a few people who got it wrong. My guild would boot me if they saw that fumble. Sam, stop. Sam Stop actually needs to be Sam Stop. Halbachad is an elf.
I mean, it doesn't help that Halbarad and Elrohir were part of the Grey Company, like that. But during the Battle of the Last Alliance, Jackson described it as an alliance between men and elves. But who also was part of that alliance? And likely fought on both sides. Spiders, hobbits, ents, or dwarves?
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how many people can remember the Durin question. Because I think the answer got given away in that part.
I don't think so. Peter says there was also men on the other side as well.
Yeah. Famously, only the elves fought on one side, which is interesting implications for orcs. But the answer that we were looking for here are dwarves. So,
again, apologies, it's off the screen, but the answer, yes, is dwarves. And that was question 9. So we have one more question here. The final question. Who answered first? We can't see. I can't see it either, unfortunately, teacher. This trivia software is... Maybe one day I will tell you about how finicky it is.
We're trying to build suspense.
Of all the fathers of the dwarves, we're probably most familiar with Durin, but how many total dwarf fathers were there? 9, 7, 5, 1. Again, put in the answer of the number of the question, not of what you think the answer is.
We're gonna have to remember this if we try and do this again.
Yeah.
Don't put number answers.
Yeah. I will also...
Or all number answers.
Yeah. I will also just I think we just have to make every single question in Photoshop instead of letting it try to do all this.
Yeah.
This one's on screen. But yes, we are building suspense, teacher. We don't know who's going to win because we didn't see who got first on the right answers.
So Tolkien has a love of odd numbers, and there are 7 fathers of the dwarves. You know, each house getting a ring of power.
The 7 dwarf fathers. Bucket time. Teacher's very, very confident. You fumbled the bag, Keith. We'll see. We'll see. Let's gonna switch over to the leaderboard here. Oh!
Dun, dun, dun.
Look at that! Second breakfast coming in with number 1. Wow.
Yeah.
With the speed. Second breakfast. Congratulations. Teacher coming in second. And oh, I'm not able to read that. Minute T coming in third. Congratulations. Minticed tea. So, second breakfast, I need you to take a look at the merch. Hopefully Jam will post a link again. And then I need you to specifically DM me on Discord what you want, what size, what color, and where I can send it to.
What? And as much as we might like to give it to second place, second breakfast, teacher's already won, so we'd be passing it farther down the line.
Exactly. This time though, we got Jam actually beat Torm. Torm coming solidly in last place on the actual people who are displayed. Way to go in there, Torm. There are of course 6 other players who maybe didn't get as many, just didn't participate in as many questions, but Torm coming in 19th place. So I think the Torm DK prize does in fact go to Torm DK. Would you agree?
I think so. I think we got to get our man a bucket.
I'm sorry, teacher. Torm gets the bucket. The deal was you had to win all 3 rounds. Listen, I write the rules. That's just how it is. There's something I can do about it, but that's just how it is, teacher. All right.
What we can do and what we will do, 2 very different things.
Exactly. Thank you all so much for doing our little trivia stream. We just thought this would be a fun little community event. Get people out here, get people doing Lord of the Rings stuff. And I especially want to thank Celtic, who helped write these questions, or he wrote the questions. And kind of organizing this whole thing and putting his time and effort into that. And then, of course, Jam, who has been relentlessly on our case to make sure our shit is together, and also being a terrific moderator and making sure things run more smoothly than if she was definitely not here. So I appreciate both of you. Thank you very much for doing this. This was a lot of fun. Pretty low-key. Honestly, this was so much less stressful for me than trying to perform a raid attempt well. I'm going to be honest with you. This was much better.
I'm glad it was a lot less stress for you, because it was a heck of a lot more stress for me.
I've taken the stress and I've just thrown it your way.
Yeah. Normally I just get to make snarky comments in the chat, which is, where I feel safe. But no, it was definitely nice to be on, and I appreciate the opportunity. And yeah, this was a blast. I'm glad to see that the questions got the right amount of answers, right? We had a nice mix. Our super lore nerds were very well positioned to do well, and Torm, well, he do the best he try.
Teacher with 27 out of 30 answers is pretty good, pretty impressive, my man. I'm glad we got to do this, and I'm glad there was a ward question as well. Torm getting the LoTR runs. This has been a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't, it wasn't a marathon of a stream too. 3 sections, boom, 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 pumped them out, got it done. Maybe you'll study a little bit next time. I'm actually hoping that we use maybe a different software, if that's going to be the case. Just because this one is so...
Yeah.
When will we do this
Unique.
again? Yeah, unique is the right word. No, I'm not going to transition into rating, Jam. I've got some other things I need to get done, unfortunately. Some more content stuff, but some other things I have to get done. This was a lot of fun, though. And again, I'm going to try and be kind of... I want to make live streams more of, events oriented rather than just every day I come in here and I do my dailies or I do my raid. Maybe that'll change with multi-squad PvP, but I don't know. I want to make them more of an event so people feel excited when they show up, as well as comfortable and cozy just coming in. But purpose of the stream was definitely doing the trivia, so I don't think I want to move over to doing raids.
And Pleb, if you're interested, I do some LoTR one-shots. So you can DM me about that and we'll see what can happen.
Yep, I know you and Peter discussed a little bit about that, I saw. I don't know if there's any follow-through on that, but I know you all at least initially broached the topic.
Yeah, that's gonna go forward. I still gotta find get the date settled, but yeah, it's looking like it'll be a good time. And
oh my God,
I love spending time in that world. But
Sage
wow.
Carpenter, the venerable Sage, massive supporter of the channel, coming in with a $50 super chat, saying thank you both. Thank you, Sage. My alerts are apparently they're doing the same thing they're always doing. They're just behind. It'll pop up in a little bit here, I think. Thank you so much, Sage. $50 super chat is incredible. Thank you. We hope you guys had fun. Yeah, if there's a big enough support for it, we'll obviously do something like this again in the future. We got some other shows, live streams, and event stuff. There it is. I think this is I would say this is a success. I can't speak. It's the pipe. It's the whatever they put in the pipe is now slowly seeped into my brain, Celtic, and
yeah, it's that combination of cherry wood and Coca-Cola that's not mixing with you, right?
You can have my account when I die. I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. We'll find another heir. I'm already a steward in my own guild, so
you don't want to do
if Polo
double duty?
comes. Nah, if Polo comes back to the game, the guild's all his. If you're out there, Polo, we're waiting for you. I'm just the steward now. But
okay. All right. I'm gonna switch over to my credit scenes here, Celtic, which is going to drop you out of the face cam. Everybody say goodbye to Celtic. Throw some hobbits in the chat, please. If you're a member. Can we get some hobbits in the chat saying, or some capybara waves in the chat saying goodbye to Celtic, thanking him for his excellent Lord of the Rings trivia. You can wave, Torm. All right, thank you so much, my dude. We'll catch up in a little bit here.
Yeah, have a good one.
And there we go. Okay. So, as we usually do at the end of streams when I wind down, I tell you about some upcoming things, some current sort of stuff going on, and give special shout out to some special people. Again, I do want to once again reiterate and thank Celtic and Jam, Celtic especially, but Jam as well. And also, of course, the people who have supported the channel for a while now. They're up on screen, but Sage, $50 super chat. I mean, Sage has been here from the beginning. Very, very grateful for the support that he shows the channel. It is, of course, not required. It is not expected. But I am thankful when people do that. We're gonna try and keep doing these fun type of events. I think I will be streaming my Gandalf unlock hopefully towards the end of the year. The next couple live streams I'm hoping before the end of the year. Streaming my Gandalf unlock, and also I really do want to do a Return to Moria live stream. I just have to get the scheduling right. I'm going home to see my mom for the holidays, and I'll be back about around the 28th, and I should be able to do some streams there. Hopefully before January 1st, so I'll let people know well ahead of time what the schedule is for that, hopefully. If I do not see you before then, either in Discord or another live stream, I probably won't live stream again before I leave. I want to wish a happy holidays to you and yours from me and mine. I'm currently taking a break from making a little bit of video content. Got to finish up some work stuff before the end of the year, but next week I should be able to sort of finish that work stuff up and then just really put pedal to the metal. I want to get some stuff out, especially while I have stuff to go up while I am back home. It's crazy that we got so many people to come out on a Saturday and do this. Thank you all so much for being part of this community, and a growing community. It's crazy, man. It's just crazy. R2R deep dive, please. Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna happen, Keith. But I can recommend a few people who could definitely give that to you. All right. Just winding things down. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a happy holidays, and I'll see you all relatively soon.